Happy Life, Chapter 23. Avoid altercations, for they are useless. Between contenders, the person who refuses to get involved in fruitless arguments is always right. The only product of verbal clashes and violent altercations is hostility, which is difficult to amend. Words spoken in anger rarely express what a person is actually thinking. They demonstrate the person's state of disharmony and the urge to crush his or her opponent. Express your ideas calmly. If the other person disagrees, remain silent and give him or her over to time, which teaches us all unhurriedly. So this lesson speaks about conflicts and about altercations, when we go about defending and fighting for an argument, for an idea. And Joanna reminds us that when those situations are in place and you have contenders, the one who chooses to not get involved in fruitless arguments is always right. Why? Because those arguments usually are arguments of egos who are fighting to be right, who are fighting to be bigger, who are fighting to be better, who are fighting to come out of the situation on the top. When we're able to be silent and walk away, take some time, take a deep breath in, review our own conduct, review our own position, give it some time, move away from the situation, wait to calm down. That gives us, well, first, that prevents hostility, aggression, and a lot of times some serious harm to taking place. Second, it opens a space for us, for the other, but also for us to see perhaps a point of view that we couldn't see before. Even if the point of view is to say, well, there's nothing I can do in this situation, but you know what? It's not worth it, this fight. It's not worth it, this contention. This person is important to me, this relationship is important to me, and sometimes, and actually more than sometimes, often in relationships, it's important that we lose sometimes so that relationship can win. When we enter a relationship, whether it's a marriage, a partnership, a friendship, and we are in a position of always wanting to win and be the right one, then there is no relationship. Relationship is about winning sometimes and losing some other times. It's about taking and giving. It's about compromising whenever it's necessary. It's about understanding that relationships are always more important than point of view, and that there's time for everything and there's a time for everyone. And sometimes we might find ourselves to be absolutely right in a given moment, just so that later on, days, maybe months, some time later, we realize that in fact we weren't so right. So what do we truly know, right? It's so easy for us to be deluded about ideas and conceptions. So it's not worth it. So the one that moves away is always right, because the product of verbal clashes, of aggression, is hostility. And once hostility is installed, it's very difficult to amend. A lot of times, as I mentioned before, as we say words out of anger with a lot of hostility, we can hurt people very deeply in ways that are difficult to heal. And when we speak in anger, a lot of times what happens is we'll say things in ways, and we'll say things that, normally when we are in a state of more harmony, we wouldn't say. So a lot of things are said in an unthinkable and harmful, destructive way. With this purpose, the purpose to crush the other one, the purpose just to win. And when we are in a fight and all we want is to win, we lose sight of what is reasonable to say, and a lot of times our words become more hurtful and more painful than any physical aggression. So this is the exercise. Whenever we are altered, whenever we are possessed by anger, by irritation, whenever we feel that an argument is going nowhere and getting heated, Let's take a deep breath and let's be the ones who act rightly, as Juana says. Let's take a step back, give it some time. There's no problem in losing an argument. The problem is when we lose ourselves and we lose our friends and when we lose people and we are causing damage that's hard to heal and to amend. So this is the tip for today. Let's do our best. Stay calm and have a great day.